Hey everyone, welcome to AC Academy. Today we're going to be reviewing Algebra 1, Section 1.5, System of Equations and Inequalities. So let's get into it. Question 1 reads, Red Shoe Company and Green Shoe Company, we'll underline those, release shoes every year. Red Shoe Company releases 8 fewer than twice the number of shoes Green Shoe Company releases. Total, they release 50 shoes. Create a system of equation to describe the problem. Okay, so first thing, let's take the information we have from this question and let's make some variables out of it. Right? We have this information that's given to us, and we want to make a system of equations from it. Okay, so we have Red Shoe Company. I'm just going to write Red Shoe, and then we also have Green Shoe Company. Let's assign variables to these companies. So Red Shoe Company can be X, Green Shoe Company can be Y. Okay? Now, why are we assigning X and Y? Just because we are trying to determine, this question is asking us to create a system of equations to describe the problem. Now, what is something that someone might want to know? Like, hey, what are the possible shoe combinations that can happen from Red Shoe Company and Green Shoe Company that like makes this statement true? Okay, so let's take a look at it. Red Shoe Company, again, X, Green Shoe Company, Y. Red Shoe Company, so X, releases 8 fewer than twice the number of shoes Green Shoe Company releases. So X is I probably should have written out more, but Red Shoe Company releases is X, Green Shoe Company release is Y. Red Shoe Company releases 8 fewer than twice the number of shoes Green Shoe Company releases. So from reading this, you know that X is going to equal 8 fewer than twice than 2 times Y. Again, so this statement is just saying Red Shoe Company, so X, releases 8 fewer than twice the number of shoes from Y. 8 fewer than twice the number. So 8 fewer minus 8, then twice the number from Green. Second statement says total, they release 50 shoes. So X plus Y, the total releases, is equal to 50. So we have equation 1 and we have equation 2 here, right? And I think this second one's easier than this first one. This first one, I kind of want to go back over it because statements can be slightly confusing. Like if you read it too many times, sometimes it doesn't make sense. But yeah, so I'm trying to reemphasize what this is saying. Red Shoe Company X, we assigned, maybe I should use colors, right? Red Shoe Company, oh, these colors are not working. Let's see, new layer. And let's do that. Okay, the colors aren't working, sorry. Red Shoe Company releases 8 fewer, so 8 less, than twice the number of shoes Green Shoe Company releases, than 2Y, right? And then the same thing, X plus Y equals 50. And if that doesn't make sense, go ahead and put it in the comment section. Maybe there's a better way I can explain it. But my best advice is to read the question multiple times and kind of write it out. Like you see initially, I didn't put this symbol here. I just say 8 fewer, okay, minus 8, and then 2 times the number of shoes Green Shoe Company releases. So 2Y. So first thing we did, assign variables. Second thing we did, put out these equations, right? Okay, and now it says create a system of equations to describe the problem. It doesn't say solve, but let's go ahead and set up the steps so that we can solve, right? We have equation 1, which is X equals negative 8 plus 2Y. And then we have X plus Y equals 50. So 2 equations, and then we have 2 variables. we have x equal to minus 8 plus 2y. So what we want to do is plug this x into the second equation, so such that one equation has one variable and all numbers. So if we did this, this would look like x plus y equals 50. We plug in that x, minus 8 plus 2y, right, plus y equals 50. Then we do some solving here, plus 8, add the two y's, 3y equals 58, y equals 58 over 3. And we won't go into too much how this might not be like a real number, right? This might be, I'm going to make something up, I don't know, 18.3 or something like that, right? And you can't have 0.3 of a shoe, so you'd probably round down here, but it depends what the test is looking for. So y equals 58 over 3 for that one. Okay, zoom out. Let's look at the work here. Just take a second to look at it. Then let's go ahead and go on to question 2. Question 2 asks, a bag contains 25 coins. 25 coins containing quarters and dimes. So the same thing as the question above, two variables, quarters and dimes. The total value of coins is $2.85. Create a system of equations that can determine the number of quarters, and they give us variables here. Quarters is Q, the number of dimes, D in the bag. And you don't necessarily have to use these variables. You just want to make sure your variables that you're using are consistent. So if you use quarters, you could say quarters is X and dimes is Y if you wanted. For this question, we're going to continue using the variables that they gave us. So Q equals quarters and D equals dimes. Now, the first thing, a bag contains 25 coins, right? So total, so we know quarters plus dimes, so Q plus D equals 25. We know that the bag has both quarters and dimes, and the total number of coins, regardless of if it's 1 quarter and 24 dimes or vice versa, it has to equal 25. Okay? And we know the total value of coins is 285. So we know that the value of a quarter, well, okay, we know the value of a quarter. We know quarters equal 25 cents, right? And then we know that dimes equal 10 cents. So what we can do, we know that Q, the number of quarters in here plus the number of dimes in here, their total value equals 285. So our second equation would be 285 is equal to the value of a quarter times Q, which is the number of quarters, plus the value of a dime times D, the number of dimes, right? Now, how did I get this, right? There's these two equations here, and we can solve it the same way we did above. But how did I get this second equation? I feel like the second one's the harder one to interpret from this question. The first one's pretty straightforward. It's saying a bag, so a single bag contains 25 coins, and the coins within the bag are either going to be a quarter or a dime. So you only have two options. So it's either Q or D. You can have 25 dimes, you can have 25 quarters, well, you can have 25 dimes and 0 quarters, or you can have 25 quarters and 0 dimes. Whatever it is, the total amount of the total coins within the bag is equal to 25 coins. Now, that's one equation. You have two variables. So you need another equation. The second equation is saying that the total value, so it's assuming that you know the value of a quarter and the value of a dime, right? So I put the values here. 1 quarter equals 25 cents. 1 dime equals 10 cents. And we know that $1 equals 100 cents. Okay. So knowing this, we have however many quarters times its value. So if we have 2 quarters, we know the value of those 2 quarters equals 50 cents. We have 5 dimes. We know the value of the dimes, which is 5, going to be times 0.1 is going to be 50 cents, right? We have 1 quarter, value is going to be 25 cents. 3 quarters, 75 cents. 6 dimes, 60 cents. 10 dimes is going to be 100 cents, or this conversion here, $1. Okay, and if we want to solve this, it's the same process as above. We have Q plus D equals 25. And then we have 0.25 Q plus 0.10 D equals 285. We have Q plus D here. So what we would do to this equation, we pick a variable and then we'd solve for it. So Q is the same thing as 25 minus D. All I did was subtract D from this side and then subtract it from the other side as well. We take that Q, we plug it in here, then we get 0.25 times 25 minus D plus 0.10 times D equals, let me make sure that's clear, equals $2.85. Right? Okay, and if we wanted to solve for this, we get 25 times, let me see, times 0.25. So that's going to be 6.25. So this goes here. This also goes here. Minus 0.25 D plus 0.10 D equals 285. And then you just solve for D from there, right? We have 625 here. Make sure I'm still on the screen. Minus 0.15 D equals 285. $2.85. We're going to plus 0.15 D plus 0.15 D, and then we're also going to subtract $2.85. I'm off the screen. Sorry, let me scoot down a little bit. Minus 285 there, minus 285 here. Sorry, this is kind of rough, but this will give us, I'm going to write this out. 625 minus 285, and that's going to equal 0.15 D minus 2.85 divided by 0.15. And again, whole numbers, D is going to be 22.6. But again, you can have 0.6 dimes, so you would round that off. Okay, so let me know if this makes sense. Let me know if there's any input that you have, or if you have any questions similar to this from this work or from this review. Go ahead and put it in the comment section, and I will get to it as soon as I can. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.